Having eaten and drunk all that was offered him, Ivan decided to wait for whoever was chief of this institution, and from this chief to obtain both attention for himself and justice. And he did come, and very soon after Ivan's breakfast. Unexpectedly, the door of Ivan's room opened, and in came a lot of people in white coats. At their head walked a man of about 45, as carefully shaven as an actor, with pleasant but quite piercing eyes and courteous manners. The whole retinue showed him tokens of attention and respect, and his entrance therefore came out very solemn. Like Pontius Pilate, thought Ivan. Yes, this was unquestionably the chief. He sat down on a stool, while everyone else remained standing. Dr. Stravinsky, the seated man, introduced himself to Ivan and gave him a friendly look. "Here, Alexander Nikolaevich," someone with a trim beard said in a low voice, and handed the chief Ivan's chart, all covered with writing. "They've sewn up a whole case," Ivan thought. And the chief ran through the chart with a practiced eye, muttered, and exchanged a few phrases with those around him in a little-known language. And he speaks Latin like Pilate, Ivan thought sadly. Here one word made him jump. It was the word schizophrenia, alas, already uttered yesterday by the cursed foreigner at the Patriarch's Ponds, and now repeated today by Professor Stravinsky. And he knew that, too. Ivan thought anxiously. The chief apparently made it a rule to agree with and rejoice over everything said to him by those around him, and to express this with the words, "Very nice, very nice." "Very nice," said Stravinsky, handing the chart back to someone, and he addressed Ivan, "You are a poet?" "A poet," Ivan replied glumly, and for the first time suddenly felt some inexplicable loathing for poetry, and his own verses, coming to mind at once, seemed to him for some reason distasteful. Wrinkling his face, he asked Stravinsky in turn, "You are a professor?" To this, Stravinsky, with obliging courtesy, inclined his head. "And you're the chief here?" Ivan continued. Stravinsky nodded to this as well. "I must speak with you," Ivan Nikolaevich said meaningly. "That is what I'm here for," returned Stravinsky. "The thing is," Ivan began, feeling his hour had come, "that I've been got up as a madman, and nobody wants to listen to me." "Oh, no, We shall hear you out with great attention, Stravinsky said seriously and soothingly, and by no means allow you to be got up as a madman. Listen, then, yesterday evening I met a mysterious person at the Patriarch's Ponds, maybe a foreigner, maybe not, who knew beforehand about Berlioz's death and has seen Pontius Pilate in person. The retinue listened to the poet silently and without stirring. Pilate? The Pilate who lived in the time of Jesus Christ? Stravinsky asked, narrowing his eyes at Ivan. The same. Aha, said Stravinsky, and this Berlioz died under a tramcar? Precisely, he's the one who in my presence was killed by a tramcar yesterday at the ponds, and this same mysterious citizen. The acquaintance of Pontius Pilate? Asked Stravinsky, apparently distinguished by great mental alacrity. Precisely him, Ivan confirmed, studying Stravinsky. Well, so he said beforehand that Anushka had spilled the sunflower oil and he slipped right on that place. How do you like that? Ivan inquired significantly, hoping to produce a great effect with his words. But the effect did not ensue, and Stravinsky quite simply asked the following question. And who is this Anushka? This question upset Ivan a little, his face twitched. Anushka is of absolutely no importance here, he said nervously. Devil knows who she is. Just some fool from Sadovaya. What's important is that he knew beforehand, you see, beforehand, about the sunflower oil. Do you understand me? Perfectly, Stravinsky replied seriously and, touching the poet's knee, added, don't get excited, just continue. To continue, said Ivan, trying to fall in with Stravinsky's tone, and knowing already from bitter experience that only calm would help him, so, then, this horrible type, and he's lying that he's a consultant, has some extraordinary power. For instance, you chase after him and it's impossible to catch up with him. And there's also a little pair with him, good ones, too, but in their own way, some long one in broken glasses and, besides him, a cat of incredible size who rides the tram all by himself. And besides, interrupted by no one, Ivan went on talking with ever-increasing ardor and conviction, he was personally on Pontius Pilate's balcony, there's no doubt of it. So what is all this, eh? He must be arrested immediately, otherwise he'll do untold harm. So you're trying to get him arrested? Have I understood you correctly? Asked Stravinsky. He's intelligent, thought Ivan. You've got to admit, even among intellectuals you come across some of rare intelligence, there's no denying it, and he replied. Quite correctly. And how could I not be trying? Just consider for yourself. And meanwhile I've been forcibly detained here, they poke lamps into my eyes, give me baths, question me for some reason about my Uncle Fedya. And he departed this world long ago. I demand to be released immediately.